الحمد لله الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We are coming close to our lessons that we have started with. Tonight, inshallah, we will do the aspect of sa'i, Safa and Marwa. A few weeks ago, Janab Hazrat Muhsin Sahib has specifically told me in my ear when it comes to the sa'i, and he told me one or two things which he wanted me to emphasize. And inshallah, with his barakah and barakah of our Shaykh, we will try and explain what is sa'i all about. Subhanallah. The practical side, we will do it closer to the end. I need you to understand the full dimensions of each one as I've been explaining over the weeks. The sa'i means effort. And that was the effort of a woman, a mother, to her son. And you know the story of Sayyidatina Hajira. Sayyidatina Hajar, these are the terms that's been used. Rahimallah, radiallahu anha. That when Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam left his wife and baby Ismail in that place, and he walked away without saying a word. Of course, he left some water, he left some dates, and he carried on walking. The wife obviously surprised. And he calls out to Ibrahim alayhi salam, and he doesn't turn back. And when she said, "Did Allah order you to leave me here?" And he turns around and he says, "Yes." He says, and then she says, "Then Allah will not forsake us." Subhanallah. Look at the reliance, the tawakkul that a wife had towards her husband, and knowing her responsibility towards her son, baby son. But the father did not just leave it there. No. The father kept on walking, and then he made dua. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربنا إني أسكنت من ذريتي بواد غير ذي زرع عند بيتك المحرم ربنا ليقيموا الصلاة. He makes dua. Oh my Rabb, oh my sustainer, I am leaving my family in a place which is barren, عند بيتك المحرم, at your sanctified holy place. ربنا ليقيموا الصلاة. Oh my Rabb, let them establish salah. And not that. He goes further by saying, فَاجْعَلْ أَفْئِدَةً مِّنَ النَّاسِ تَهْوِي إِلَيْهِمْ وَارْزُقْهُم مِّنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَشْكُرُونَ. Ya Allah, look at the beautiful dua. Is it Rabbana? فَاجْعَلْ أَفْئِدَةً مِّنَ النَّاسِ. Make the peoples, he didn't say Muslimi, he said أَفْئِدَةَ النَّاسِ. Let humanity, let people's heart show love towards them, Ya Allah. Right? Mercy towards them, O Allah. تَهْوِي إِلَيْهِ وَارْزُقْهُمْ, and provide them with fruits, thamarat. Why? لَعَلَّهُمْ يَشْكُرُونَ, so that they can be grateful and thankful to you. It reminds me, Sayyidina Umar heard once a man walking, and he said, Allahumma ja'alni min ibadika al-qalil. Oh Allah, make me from those who are little. Sayyidina Umar goes up to him and says, what are you talking about? Where did you learn that dua? You know? Look at that beautiful answer. وَقَلِيلٌ مِّنْ عِبَادِيَ الشَّكُورِ. And few of my servants are grateful. Isn't it so? وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. Our ni'mah that Allah has given upon us is innumerable. Yet, إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَظَلُومٌ كَفَّارٌ. Yet insan is ungrateful. That is one ayat of the Quran. وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَغَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. And in another ayat, the same ayat, then Allah says, but Allah is Ghafoor and Allah is Rahim. Here, Nabi Ibrahim is making this dua. Let them be grateful of Allah. When the wife didn't complain, oh, where's the credit card? Where's the car? No, nothing like that. You know, this was the first thing. No, subhanallah. Our mothers, may Allah grant them Jannatul Firdaus. Ya Allah, Ameen, Ya Rab. They had poverty with them. Hey? Did they complain? They sewed dresses. They made samosas. They did what they had to do. They scrubbed floors for you and me to be what you and I am today. Subhanallah. They came from another country to establish you and me here. Isn't it so? This is the lesson we learn of Safa and Marwa. This is the effort. It has to do with effort. The whole irony of it is, now when we reenact Safa and Marwa, the men have to run. Although a woman did it. A woman did it. But the man's mense had to know nog. Like they say in Afrikaans. Isn't it so? So what did the Hajjara do? Provisions ran out. Water that she had, the husband left, no more. So she got from Safa to Marwa, Marwa to Safa. And she's hearing strange things. To cut a long story short, it was Jibreel alayhi salatu wassalam with his wings trying to dig a hole so that the water comes out. And as the water comes out, what is the natural reaction? We try to contain it. Zoom, zoom. Bibi Hajara. Zoom, zoom. Try to contain it. Subhanallah, our Shaykh tells us, if she did not do that, the water up till today would have run away. Up till today. But because that's why today we understand what is Zamzam. She found life. Because water is life. You can be without food for a number of days, but try it with water. Subhanallah. So she started her effort there. What an amazing sacrifice that you and I learn. Please understand that the sacrifice in the first instance was because she relied upon her Allah. Tawakkaltu ala Allah. Oh, my husband, you leaving me here? Just like this? But Allah has ordered you. Allah will look after me. Can we do that today? Divorce. Go to Imaam. Talaq, fasakh. Sabr. You see, that's the problem today. Sabr is, patience is something which is not in our vocabulary nowadays. And subhanallah, for sabrun jameel. Sitna Aisha, when she was slandered, what did she tell her husband, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? The only thing I'm telling you, Ya Rasulullah, is for sabrun jameel. In the Quran, when Nabi Yusuf's father said, I am taking that patience because of my son. Remember? Yeah. But what we have to understand is the effort in anything that we do. There's barakat in that. Because our pious mothers and fathers did a little, worked with little, and they achieved a lot. Isn't it so? We always say this example. One mother looked after 10 children, but one child can't even look after one mother. SubhanAllah. How disgusting it is in our communities that we are finding these kind of things. May Allah protect us. Ya Allah. So effort is so important that we have to run between the two boundaries in order to understand. So it's all about sacrifice, subhanAllah. And I need to speak to you about sacrifice because we're in the days of Hajj, and sacrifice, maybe udhiyah, is something I need to draw your attention to while we are talking about sacrifice. Have you ever considered that the amount of sheep that we are slaughtering worldwide not only Muslims, non-Muslims, worldwide. Yet you are finding so many sheep. And when a sheep gives birth, how much sheep does it give birth to? One at a time. But dogs, they give to a litter of pups, isn't it so? Many. But you see so many dogs running around in this dunya? No. Not at all, isn't it so? Isn't that mind-boggling? One day Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam asked Allah Jalla Jalaluhu, "Oh Allah, show me one of your beloved servants." And he sends him to Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam and Nabi Ismail alayhi salam looking after the sheep. And Jibreel alayhi salam comes in the form of a man. He says, "Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam," introduce, like normal. And he asks Ibrahim alayhi salam lot of questions, Who is this? He says, "My son. What are you doing on the hill?" He says, "No, I'm tending to the flock of sheep here." He says, "MashaAllah, whose sheep are these, all that you're looking after?" He says, "No, it's mine, Nabi Ibrahim is thinking, obviously, now why all these type of questions that is going on now, And goes on and on. Here comes the punchline. Jibreel alayhi salam says, "You have so many, don't you want to give me half of it?" He says, "No problem." But he said, "I can't pay you. I haven't got the money or whatever to give you that amount of." Ibrahim alayhi salam says, "Don't worry. What I want is between your lips. Subhanallah. What I want is in your heart. And accept my terms and you can have half." Jibreel alayhi salam says, "Yes." Excuse me. He says, then say, "Subbuhun Qudusun Rabbul Malaikati wal Ruh." Say, "Most glorious and most holy is Rabb, Lord of the angels and the spirit." And he says that. And Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam tells his son, "Go take the half and take it to his side. Go take it to his side." And Ibrahim alayhi salam is being tested again. He says, Jibreel alayhi salam says, "But you still got a lot there, I say, "Okay, take half of what I have, but with the same condition. Say, Subbuhun Qudusun Rabbul Malaikati wal Ruh." And he says that. And Ismail alayhi salam takes the other half of the quarter now and puts it over on the side of Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam. Nabi Ibrahim says to him, "I feel that you want to ask me more. And I will not wait for you to ask again. I shall ask you myself if you want more." Subhanallah. At that time, the angels in the heavens were weeping. Subhanallah. And Allah says to the angels, "I am creating from every drop of your tears an angel that will inhabit the earth until the end of this world. They will be my messengers in charge at protecting and guiding human beings until the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah." And Allah says, "Kun," isn't it? All you have to say is be, and it is. That's why you might understand the concept of angels that are protecting us. As Allah says in the Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, لَهُ مُعَقِّبَاتٌ مِّن بَيْنِ يَدَيْهِ وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِ يَحْفَظُونَهُ مِنْ أَمْرِ اللَّهِ. For each person there is assigned malaikat, angels in succession, before him and behind him, and they guard him by the command of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. So if you want to speak about security and alarm, and I think certain people know what I'm talking about, Subhanallah. Allah has given us an alarm system free of charge, in front of us and behind us, in the form of malaika. So Nabi Ibrahim tells Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam, you just repeat, Subbuhun Qudusun Rabbuna wa Rabbul Malaikati wa Ruh. Did you You pick up the difference? How Ibrahim alayhi salam said? He always said, Subuhun Qudusun Rabbul Malaikati wal Ruh. But the third time, Subuhun Qudusun Rabbuna wa Rabbul Malaikati wal Ruh. Subhanallah. And Ibrahim alayhi salam tells his son Ismail, take it, send, right? Send, give everything away. And it is given. And the visitor, which is Jibreel alayhi salam, he says, Ya Ibrahim, wait, I am Jibreel, the angel. I only came to check your love and sincerity. I don't need these flocks. He says, oh Jibreel, says Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam, did you think I did not know who you were? Did you think I didn't know who you were? When you said, Subuhun Qudusun Rabbuna, our Lord, you gave yourself away because you repeated after me. Subhanallah. Ya Allah. So Ibrahim alayhi salam says, it is I who covered you. I veiled myself from you. Subhanallah. I differentiated myself from you. When I'm going to say the third time, Rabbuna wa Rabbul Malaikati wal Ruh. Subhanallah. Jibreel was now baffled. Right? At the answer, and Allah tells him, O Jibreel, leave Ibrahim alone, for he will never take them back. This is because the one who is generous, he never takes back and he never reminds someone of a favor that has been done to him. This is, and Allah says, I am attributing my title of Al-Kareem to Ibrahim alayhi salam, the generous one. Subhanallah. So appoint, angels to look after them. And Allah says, my will is that these species of animals will never be extinguished from the earth because of Ibrahim alayhi salam's generosity. Subhanallah. This is the answer of why the continuous, perpetual, you will find sheep, never mind, even millions are being slaughtered for consumption, and millions are slaughtered in Bakri Eid Day, in this time, but you won't find the barakah disappearing. Go to New Zealand, go to Australia, and go to any part of the world, you will find sheep in abundance. Subhanallah. But having said that, we come back. When we have completed Safa and Marwa, the one action that we do is between, you'll find out, between the two stations, the green lights as we call it, that the men must run. رَبِّ اغْفِرْ وَارْحَمْ وَتَجَاوَزْ عَمَّا تَعْلَمْ إِنَّكَ تَعْلَمْ مَا لَا نَعْلَمْ إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْعَزُّ الْأَكْرَمْ. We recite and we create the aspect of effort and running like Sayyidatina Hajra was running. Because we are in need of Allah, of you, O Allah, your rahmah, your barakah, whatever we are. So make zikr. I spoke about the aspect of zikr last week, how important it is. Du'as, you can always make. Ya Allah. Everything has to do, whether it's Safa, whether it's Marwa, whether it's Tawaf, it has to do with zikrullah. And may that always be understood, and we always understand it has to do with that all the time. Having said that, I need to go back and to more of the practical side, inshallah, of the aspect of firstly the tawaf. And I need to start off by going back to the tawaf when we go into ihram, and we said when we had Bir Ali or Dhul Khulaifa is your miqat when you come from Medina, and when you come from South Africa and that part of the world, Yalamlam, which is basically over the sea, that is your miqat, which you can't go beyond when you make your niyyah. You can put your clothes on, but your niyyah must be said just before that. Okay, we okay so far? So we make the ghusl of ihram. We put on the clothes of ihram. We make 2 rak'ah sunnah for ihram. We make the niyyah of umrah. And then we make the talbiyah. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, innal hamda wal ni'mata laka wal mulk, la sharika lak. And we say that 3 times. Now we are ready to go enter into Makkah. When we enter into Makkah, it is sunnah to freshen up. You can shower again. We spoke about it last week. No soaps, just let water fall over you. You can put the same ihram on, no problem. And off you go into the haram. But to go, there are many doors. You have to work it out, please, with your agent and so forth. Don't get lost. Work out markers and so forth, which door I'm going to go in and so forth. There's enough of that. Get to Hajar al-Aswad. Now Hajar al-Aswad, where I'm sitting, is on my left-hand side. Right? And you going right around, and Rukn al-Yamani is the one before you reach Hajar al-Aswad. So when you're standing facing Hajar al-Aswad, you make your niyyah that I intend, oh Allah, to perform the tawaf of Umrah. Make it easy for me. فَيَسِّرْهَا لِي فَتَقَبَّلْهَا مِنِّي 7 أشواط. I'm making 7 ashwat, tawaf. Alright? This is a niyyah. Make it in any language. And you say, Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. Bismillahi Allah. You are facing Hajar al-Aswad and kissing it. If you can touch and kiss, mashallah. If you're unable to, which normally is the case, you're unable to, you point and you say Bismillah. You know, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu said about Hajar al-Aswad, you are but a stone. If it wasn't for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam kissing, I wouldn't have kissed you. Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu reminded him about the hadith. Don't you know that it will have 2 ears and a tongue that will testify for you on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah? The stone of Jannah. That's why when it comes to agitation, our heart, our ruh is agitated towards Hajar al-Aswad because the essence is the same. Subhanallah. Isn't it so? And we have said, the one who hasn't seen the Baytullah is restless, and the one who has seen the Baytullah is restless. It's because of Hajar al-Aswad. So we say Bismillah Allahu Akbar, and we start walking. I'll show you how to put on the ihram soon, inshallah. But ittiba must be done. In other words, the right shoulder must be open for the men folk now, not women normal. In other words, you tuck the ihram under your arm, and the left shoulder is covered. Your heart is towards the Baytullah. And that's how you make your tawaf. And as I explained last week, we do it 3 times. 3 times we do the ramal. We do effort. And I explained the aspect of it last week. I'm not going to go through it again. And the men do the ramal. And you run on the spot. You look away from your vrouw, you can Allah. You know what I'm saying? So you run and you make dhikr, dua, whatever. They are prescribed du'as which is in the notes. But you know, if you come, not even the first corner, you probably finish making the dua. So what you can do in the balance of the corners? Look around, take a selfie, here am I. Astaghfirullah. No. You are constantly in the thought process of the Ar-Rahman. Allah is my host. Don't you ever forget that. Nothing must distract you. Nothing, and I mean nothing. And you must create that. And people of tariqah, when they sit in dhikr, you know that you focus. You make rabitatul sharifa. Isn't it so? Tasawwur, you have to do that. So this is your training ground here already, so that when you go around in the multitude of crowds, subhanallah, you have to be more focused. Not foolish. Yes, you must look out for dangers wherever there is. But focused like Sahaba Kiram, like our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, they were focused despite the enemies watching them around. So please be focused. And as you are going, and I'm going to stop a little bit here and there. Say for example the adhan goes off for Maghrib. A waqtu catches you. And you in that corner now. Hajar al-Aswad is here. You have walked and you reach over there. Adhan goes off. The nice thing to do is to try to finish the one shot that you are busy with, the one round. And you stop and you go find yourself a comfortable place to make your salah. And when your salah is finished, you do Bismillahi Allahu Akbar, Bismillahi Allahu Akbar, and you carry on. The second option, if it's impossible to finish, you finish off there and you go to your spot where you must make your salah for the fard. And when it's finished, you carry on from there. You don't have to repeat. You carry on from there, Bismillahi Allahu Akbar, and you carry on. Is that clear? So, yes, question in the back. Yes.
Does it apply for your Umrah actions as well, like you by Safa Marwa?
Yes, I'm coming to that. We'll speak about it. Because Safa Marwa is a long distance, nearly 3 kilometers in total. Right? Yes?
Just while we're on that topic,
Yes.
assuming that you've done 3 tawafs maybe,
Yes.
and for some or other reason you've broken your wudu,
Yes.
does one stop, perform wudu again,
Yes.
start from 1,
Yes.
or
No.
you start from 4?
No, you start from 4. Good question. When you break the condition of tawaf, you must have wudu. That is the condition of tawaf. So if you broke your wudu by the 3rd one or the 4th one, Allah makes things easy for us. Allah didn't say even go repeat. No. Alright? You carry on from there. Make your wudu and carry on. And move, inshallah. Another question?
Sheikh, now, you see the 7 tawafs you do, right?
Yes.
Now sometimes the crowd is big. I know you get those small tasbih with the 7 beads.
Yes, good.
But the thing is, what if for whatever reason you forgot which round?
Very good question. You use the same principle when you're in salah. If you're in salah, oh my, did I do 3 rakats? Did I do 4 rakats? You understand? You apply that principle. So what do? I know I've done 2 rakats. Right? So you start with the 3rd one in the rakat. The same principle Allah is with the tawaf. If you know you've done 3 or 2, right? You don't start all over. Because shaitan wants to bamboozle you. You know you've done 1. You know you've done 2. And you work from that. You don't say, no, I'm going to start all over again. Or you know what, salah? No, I'm going to break my salah. I'm going to start all over again. Don't you dare do that. When it comes to wudu, whilst I'm at it, you know the Shafi is very strict. If the husband and wife touches each other, wudu is broken. All the other madahib, Hanafi especially, if husband and wife touch each other, no. If a dog touches you, the dog's wudu is broken. So, what I'm trying to say is be logical when it comes to certain things. So, when you go for your tawaf, make wudu according to Imam Abu Hanifa. And how is that? Instead of just doing the forehead with a little bit of the hair, you do your whole head. That's all. That's the only thing that differentiates. Because if you're standing in a shop and you are serving, working with money, yes, this man, Allah is not difficult. Imagine you are walking and you're a strict Shafi, and a fanatical Shafi, and you are walking and there your wife touches you. You're quiet, is you. No, for your throat, it's going to happen. Must I go again? Now you're by the 3rd one. Again you want to touch me? What's going on with you? Don't be stupid. Allah is not. He doesn't create difficulty for us. You and I create unnecessary difficulty. When the rukhsah and the dispensation is there, please use it. Don't think, I'm not used to being Hanafi or Maliki or Hanbali. It's all the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Because the main source, Imam Shafi, Hanafi, Maliki, Hanbali, Ja'fari, whatever school of thought, their source was Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Sheikh,
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum.
Just to some clarity on Safa Marwa.
Yes.
What is regarded as a full distance? One way up or one way and back?
Yes. A good question. I just want to
Lots of
complete.
people have confusion.
Yes,
on that.
that's a good question. I'm going to speak about that when I just want to complete my practical side of my tawaf. When you come to the penultimate corner, in other words, this is the first one, that's the second one, that's the 3rd one, that's now the penultimate one, Rukun al-Yamani. That's where Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, again, Bosi, Kadam, we say we kiss, and you say, رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. Then you back to the Hajar al-Aswad and you start with the second one. Again, Istislam. Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. This is how we do it. Yes, it's a question you have in front. Second sir.
Sheikh mentioned that we might be, the adhan might go off.
Yes.
And at that point, we might break away from the group. And then when the salah is completed, do we then start our tawaf individually again, or do we come as a group again? And
If you remember, I've said, when you are going, it's end of the year. The reality of it is, it's chock-a-block. To go as a group of 60 and 70 is going to be literally impossible for you to stay together and do the ibadah together. I always say, you couple up 2, 3, 4 maximum. At least you're protecting yourselves and doing. The mere fact that you are here, you are learning how to go about doing the ibadat of Umrah. Former years, people used to come, summun, bukmun, umyun, like we say, deaf, dumb and blind, without any knowledge. But no problem. Then the matawf come and they take you. And that was the principle. Cape Town had that for decades upon decades because of lack of education maybe or whatever it is. But their hearts were still tight of going. So they were able to go, even they used to go by ship and learn on the ship. Or boat or whatever it is. So that's the idea of matawf. To do it together is fine if the crowds are less. But if the crowds are huge, it's going to be impossible, literally. Okay? So if you start for a group and the adhan has broken away, you're not going to wait now for a group. Let me tell you, it becomes nafsa nafsi. Everyone for oneself and Allah for everyone. That's really what happens. Another question, somebody?
When you rejoin after salah that you've done prayer and you join, is there anything on the niyyah you have to say?
No niyyah. Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. And off you go. And with dua and adhkar. Mostly the adhkar you carry on. Alright, so now we have completed 7 tawafs, right? Then the beauty is to make dua at the multazam. The multazam is the position where the Hajar al-Aswad is and where the door is. That little space is the Mubarak places. They are very mustajab places where Allah accepts. And everybody runs there and hurts each other. We're not there to hurt our fellow mu'tamirin or hujjaj. No. Right? We rather do ukhuwah. Ukhuwah? You know, the dhikr we recited. إنما الإسلام قوة وجهاد وفتوة ونظام وأخوة واتباع لمحمد صلى الله على محمد. Ukhuwah means what happened at the Battle of Badr. They were mortally injured and they took water to the one Sahabi. Then he heard his fellow Sahabi crying. He said, no, go to my brother. Give to my brother the first rather. And as you know the story, then he heard somebody else crying. He said, no, give to my other brother. He needs it more than I do. And by the time they came back, they were all shaheed. In other words, be selfless, man. Give to somebody else. Because Allah will open your doors for you. Here I must give you a nice one. One day I was in the crowd. Many years ago, I think my wife was with me Hajj time, and it was hectic, and I'm feeling a little bit claustrophobic, making dua, Allah, let this thing just open up in front of me, so I can get through. Wallahi, everybody opened up in front of me. Really, it was like, say, Ya Allah, made dua so mustajab. In effect, somebody had diarrhea and crashed himself down. That's actually what happened, and people were running away. Clearly running away. So it had nothing to do with my dua. People were just opening up the way. So these things happen. But what I'm trying to say is, Wallahi, you apply ukhuwah in your ibadat, Allah will open up doors for you. Wallahi. Eh? You give one way without expecting anything. Allah will give you 7 times, and if not more. And this is how we approach anything, whether we do. Covered? Correct? Yeah. So when we finish, the mustajab area is this multazam. If you can get there, alhamdulillah. If you can't, try to focus towards it and make dua. Alright? And thereafter, وَاتَّخِذُوا مِن مَّقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلًّى. Then take the maqam of Ibrahim and perform 2 rakats. Right? Tawaf al-Umrah. Now, Imam Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah, is so strict that you can't even go on the other side. You must do it in the precincts of Maqam Ibrahim. Now, in reality, those who want to be staunch Hanafis, just to give you an idea, logistics will not allow you to stand right behind Maqam Ibrahim to make your 2 rakats. Isn't it so? So I always tell my Hanafi brothers, become Shafi'i, Maliki, Hanbali, whatever school of thought, which is Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam school of thought, which they derive from, and perform Maqam Ibrahim. Ladies won't even get anywhere nearby Maqam Ibrahim. That's the reality, right? So you go further back as far as you can, and in line, you make your 2 rakats, sunnah. So far clear? Then you drink your zamzam, and you make, and that's the only time we drink. I mean, the only time we stand and drink. Every other time we sit and drink. I remember many, many years ago, one of my sheikhs, Sheikh Mustafa from Palestine, when he came to our house. And he was standing and drinking some kind of a drink, you know. And then he said, Biniyati Zamzam. So now I'm looking at the drink, is it turning to Zamzam or what? But that's what he taught us. Sometimes you tend to find yourself, you can't sit and you stand. Make the niyyah with the intention of Zamzam, then you can stand. No, can Allah, don't be lazy now to sit now. Biniyati Zamzam, Biniyati Coke, you know. Yahudi Zamzam, you know. Be careful. Coming back, once you've done, you're making dua for shifa min kulli da'i. From every ailment we are drinking that Zamzam. Subhanallah. And when we're done, off we go to Safa and Marwa. As you are going, you say to the Hajar al-Aswad, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, and off you go to Safa. Safa also means purity, wool, and so forth. And as you are climbing with your niyyah towards Safa, you make your niyyah, I am intend to perform the sa'i of Umrah. Do it in English, Arabic, whatever language you're comfortable, please do that, right? And then you recite the ayat, Inna as-safa wal-marwata min sha'airillah. Indeed, Safa and Marwa are the symbols of Allah, the sha'air. And then off you go to Marwa, right? And as I explained earlier on, between the 2 green lights, the men have to run. Don't run fast, just run on the spot to create the aspect of energy. Because you have women, you have your mother, you have your wife, or sister, whoever it is. So you still have to protect them. So, but you have to create that. Like in the Ramal, the first 3 rounds in the Tawaf, the men does it, do the same here as well, inshallah. And when you have reached Marwa, please understand, when you do Tawaf, Baytullah, you start at one point and you end at the same point. Safa and Marwa is different. You start at one point, but you end at another point, isn't it so? You start at Safa, you go to Marwa, go back to Safa, back to Marwa, back to Safa, back to Marwa, and you eventually end at Marwa. So 1 from Safa to Marwa is 1, Marwa to Safa is 2, and Safa back to Marwa is 3, and then 4, then 5, then 6, then the last one back to Marwa is 7. Clear? Clear so far? And when that is done, subhanallah, that is basic. And again, you do a lot of La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika la lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu yuhyi wa yumiit wa huwa ala kulli shayin. All these kalimas, takbir, comes in as you are approaching the various hills. You can imagine, Look, we're having it easy now. It's all paved, man. What did Sayyidina Hajara do? Right? She had loose sand and a hill. It was virgin territory. Can you imagine? Right? We just walk from here to there, like it's not done like that. You know? It is 8 hours. That's the reality. Subhanallah, I can tell you, you will still be 8 hours, despite the luxury of the tile area and the aircon and everything and undercover and all that we have. Ya Allah, Sayyidina Hajara, right? She had the hill, she had the sun and the elements all against her. Everything else against her from a physical point of view. But you know what? She had Allah with her. And that is important. That's all you need. Wait, what else do you want? Who else do you need? And make sure that Allah is always with you. And may Allah be with you always, Ya Allah. Bijari Habibika al-Mustafa. Bijari our Murshid, Ya Allah. This is important. And when we are proceeding and finishing our Safa and Marwa, there is no specific salat. Many people like to make salat at the end of Marwa. That is not part of the ritual. خُذُوا عَنِّي مَنَاسِكَكُمْ, says Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Take the manasik, the rituals of Umrah and Hajj from me, how I do it. So we follow our Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam implicitly. Once Safa and Marwa is finished, then we go have our hair cut. In the Shafi'i madhab, it's sunnah to shave only a little. That's a school of thought, by the way. But the Hanafi madhab, klom, alles af, shave completely. Now, I always tell the students, if you have an ego problem, you know, I need to, make case with I don't want it to be out of place now, so I must do this, Sneeuwmaf. Your ego is interfering with you. Right? Isn't tasawwuf to do about ego? What did Bayezid Bustami, I might have mentioned this to you. Bayezid Bustami was in a state of hal. And he asked Allah, oh Allah, how can I reach you? And the answer came, step on your ego, then come to me. And this is what is to do with ego. Because ego is, if we have a mithqala dharra, if we have a atom seed of kibr in you, Jannat is haram for you. Allah protect us. Right? Get that kibr. That's why we have a murshid. Why? To take our hand. Oh, I see you're a stingy man. Start giving every Friday 10 cents into the mosque account. This is how we are trained. He identifies our weaknesses. They say, oh you Rishan, go give adhan today at Kareemullah Mosque. Or you probably have diarrhea today, and for the next whole week your jubba will be shaking like that, I suppose. You understand? This is how our murshid. This is tazkiyatun nafs. This is what our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came to train us and our character. Take the satanic character away from us and replace it with angelic character. May Allah grant us that. Yeah. And so when we have shaved our hair, I as a Shafi'i make sure I shave everything off. Because we're part of it. Right? We want to do what our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam advised us. Although he gave dispensation, like on Hajj, 2 days or 3 days when we had Mina. Right? وَمَنْ تَأَخَّرَ فِي يَوْمَيْنِ فَلَا إِثْمَ عَلَيْهِ, says Allah in the Quran, about the staying behind for 2 days. If you stay for another day thereafter, which the Hanafis do, it's also no problem. Shafis were allowed because of women, pregnant women, water carriers. There's always a reason for that, so no problem. So don't say, no, because Hanafi, I'll stick to that, or I'm Shafi, I'll stick to that. No. Go. What is easy? Question.
The point of cutting your hair, must that be done immediately after Marwa, or can it be done later on?
How late is later on?
Like, I remember when we went, we did only cut a portion of our hair at the Marwa area.
Good.
And afterwards we went to the barber, which was a couple of minutes away.
Minutes or hours, doesn't matter. once you've cut a little bit of the hair, somebody else must cut it. You can't cut your own
But
hair.
that must it be done immediately, or can it be done?
It can be delayed for legitimate reasons, right? Once, because you are still putting yourself, by staying in ihram, you can't do anything else. So you do as easily as possible. If the adhan is going off, you must go make salah, right? So you go. But what you do is, and the condition again, the one who is in ihram cannot cut the other person who is in ihram his or her hair. You have to be out of ihram. And out of ihram means somebody else must cut your hair. So even if you cut a little bit and you haven't cut everything, you're out of ihram. It would be a good idea, but there's so many, the facilities are so much there. Have a scissor in your bag or so. But sometimes, security-wise, when you come into the haram, they search you randomly and they found a scissor. They say, what the hell? No, what you're trying to do. So people are neurotic, so to be careful on that. There are people that can do it and so forth. You just go down the road. I think the barber shop is just down the corner there. So it will be easy, inshallah. And then you just ask for barber shop. That's what I did. I went after nearly 20 years. And I went to the barber. I said, just give me your scissor here, please, so I can cut my wife's hair. So that's what I did. So I borrowed a scissor and we just cut. That's how you do it. Question?
Sheikh, but just two questions. The first one going back to the wudu,
Yeah.
while you're performing the sa'i.
Yeah.
So again, I suppose the same principle applies. If you break your wudu along, you carry on from where you stopped, or do we start again?
For the sa'i, good question. When it comes to Safa Marwa, you don't have to be in a state of wudu. That's conditional. If you want to be in a state of wudu, mashallah. But some people can't. That's fine. But you don't have to go. Tawaf, you have to be in a state of wudu.
And then just on cutting of the hair,
Yes.
does it matter from the root of the hair or piece of the hair?
Anyway. Anything like that, mark next to khalas. Yes, another question?
Nowadays we see a lot of people at Safa and Marwa using wheelchairs.
Using?
The wheelchair.
Wheelchair, yes.
Yeah, and that these people push. What are the conditions where you're allowed to use a wheelchair?
The conditions are normal. Firstly, don't hurt your fellow hujjah that is on them.
The person who is, supposing, sometimes a person with a knee problem.
Yeah.
Very sometimes they can walk now, because of a knee problem they will sit.
Not a problem.
So now I'm saying, for Safa and Marwa, supposing you can limp along and walk, you should be doing that, you can use a wheelchair.
If you're unable to walk, if you cause difficulty, you're going to cause injury, use a wheelchair. Really. And don't feel shy, because I know there are certain people, me in a wheelchair, over my dead body. You will be dead if you don't use it. So please use it. There's a lady at the side. Other question.
What must you do with the hair that gets cut? Must the hair be buried? Must the hair be clipped? Does it just get discarded?
They give it to the barber.
Okay. But the hair...
No, I'll tell you why. There are bins outside. You'll see in the barber areas, they have bins, so they throw all the hair there. And even at Safa Marwa, you'll find containers or bins. So the sunnah, we're talking about here in South Africa, the important thing is not to throw your hair in the nails around. Bury it. Or even if it goes into the sewage system, it eventually gets to the sea or wherever the disposal is. But don't throw it around. Any more? Right, so now you're out of ihram. You've done your umrah. It's your first umrah. Now you're allowed to do badal umrah. Now badal umrah means you might have to go to the hill. Tana'im and Ji'rana. These are the two minor miqats, as we call it, but it's called the hill. And again, the same principle is applied. You can do the umrah for yourself, or you can do it for your mother, father, sister, brother. Having said that, can a male do for a female, and can a female do for a male? Hands up. Yes or no? Who says no? Hands up. Who says yes? Hands up. And those who plead the Fifth Amendment, hands up. You must sometimes answer, because in being wrong, you teach somebody else. Don't stay behind. Shame shaitan by saying something. Always remember. Okay, having said that, the answer is yes. A male can do for a female can do for a male. When it comes to Badal Umrah or Badal Hajj, it's not a problem. Can you do a Badal Umrah or Badal Hajj for a person that's alive? Hands up, those who say yes. This one looking for that one, come on, yeah. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. If the person is unable, sickly, etc., and so forth, the answer is yes. Okay, question?
Just go back to the procedure of making the ghusl first and putting on that. So when you do the second umrah, you're in your ihram, but you haven't made that niyyah now because you've just cut your hair.
Yeah.
Maybe you take a.
So you're out of ihram.
You're out of ihram, but you're still wearing the clothes.
Okay.
Right? You had a 2-hour break or 3-hour break, and you decide, okay, let me do another umrah for father, mother, whoever.
You must be strong for that.
But if
no problem.
If one does it, does one then need to do the ghusl again, or do you just go to the mikah and then come?
It's obviously sunnah to do the ghusl, but seeing that you are in ihram, you go not to the miqat, the hill, which is Tana'in or Ji'rana. You can just, because you are in ihram already, it makes common sense. You just go straight to Tana'in and then make your niyyah of ihram, niyyah for umrah or badal umrah at that juncture and come back again. And please mention the person's name specifically. Right? Don't think about it. Any more questions? No. No, you can ask, no problem. Ask. Come, ask. Give him the mic, put him in a position. You alright? Okay. Having said that, once you are finished, you are allowed to make sunnah tawafs. Now the sunnah tawafs are in normal civilian clothes. Again you start off, now with your sunnah tawaf, and also seven shows. And it's at your leisure, really. Even if you don't say anything, wallahi, even if you don't say anything, sometimes, like I always say, rather appear a fool than open your mouth and confirm it. So just walk around, and you're making tasbih mentally. That's ibadat as well. And you perform your 2 rakats at Maqam Ibrahim, and that is it. There's no Safa and Marwa or Sa'i when you do your sunnah tawaf. And you can also do a tawaf for family members, friends, whatever you need to do, you can do it in their name as well. There you don't have to go into ihram for that. Any questions on that? Yes, any question, yeah? No,
In terms of those sunnah tawafs, when we're making the umrah, for the men, the head must be open. Is it the same?
Oh, yes.
Same principle for the sunnah tawaf, even if it's not an umrah, you're making those 7 sunnah tawafs, but
no, you see, when you're making the tawaf, the sunnah tawaf, there is no conditions of ihram on you. So you're not opening up your shoulder, and your left shoulder must be closed, or your head must be bare. But thank you for reminding us, when you perform umrah, you can't put an amama on or a kufiya on, nothing like that, as you know when you're in ihram. Talking about the men now. Alright? But when you do sunnah tawaf, you're in civilian clothes. You can do whatever clothes that you are in. No problem. Thank you for that question. More questions, ladies? I see the ladies are quiet tonight. When you are complete with the ibadat of that, there is time for leisure, there's time for fikr. Please don't waste your time. You are limited. You never know when Allah is going to take you back there. Wallahi, So make the most of whatever you can. Spend as much time in the haram. I remember do your awrad there. In Tariqah, people have awrad to do. I remember one year I had a tasbih which had 500 beads on, and I was sitting there pulling, and of course one Salafi came up to me, knocked the tasbih from my hand, or Wahhabi, whatever. Haram, haram, haram. So, alhamdulillah. He came, the very next time the person came, the next waqt, he took the hand and he took the tasbih and he kissed it. So sometimes we also have to be careful how we react to people. I have seen personally on Hajj, without mentioning names, that a Hujaji chasing an Arab down because he angered him. You know, you must understand, what does the old people say? You must take bags full of sabr and only one bag full of money. Let me tell you, going on a journey, then you get to know your fellow traveler, your musafir, who they are, how they are habits, and so forth. And I can tell you, you can see some ugly things, but you know what? You give what is in your heart, they give what is in their heart. Don't let their hearts dictate what is in your heart. That is the reality of things. And may Allah protect our hearts. Because our eyes, as you know, is the windows to our heart. So the muck and the filth that we want to take in, especially on TV and things like that, be careful. Be careful, Allah protect us from those kind of things. Especially our young children who are now addicted to various social medias and phones and this and that, inshallah. Protect them, protect our eyes, subhanAllah. Any more questions? I want to go into the aspect of ihram. I want to do a practical of the ihram just to give you an idea. I'll stand and then I'll sit. I think this can, is that okay? One of the bags that you can have that you can tie around your waist because of, you know, your ihram falling off or whatever. Does it sound okay? This is fine. This is like our hiking. This is what I normally get for hiking. You can, and you can put your whatever you need to put your necessities you put in here, but it will also work as a belt. Right? But having said that, I was very pleasantly surprised when I saw the types of ihram that you get now. Because I mean, as I said, after many years, just under 20 years that I went last year with my wife, and you get the state of the art ihram now, eh? Right? Baraka Medina, made in Taiwan. Really? And I thought I'll come along with this one. You will find Velcro. There's Velcro over here. So when you do your, oops, it's funny. Maybe I must use that. We do the first time our ihram. As I said, there's a Velcro inside and there's a Velcro on the outside as well. This side, you know. And when you do your ittiba for tawaf, this means ittiba. In other words, the shoulder is open and the shoulder is closed. When it comes to salat time, men, you close both shoulders. You take this off and you close it. Got it? In other words, that's how it's supposed to be. Clear? When you make a tawaf, even for Safa and Marwa, it doesn't have to be, you close it. So you go back to that mode, in effect. Clear on that? And the nice part of this latest modern, if I can call it, is Velcro. Look at that. There's even a bag and all sorts of things, studs. Here we are. A money bag. I was quite surprised. So you keep it on you. And it's all Velcro. Again, no problem. You must understand, when we went in the 80s and the 90s and the 90s, all the time, we had to keep it up every time. And the way we had to do it, I will do it with this one. We literally had to make sure it's tight. You know? Then we do it the Louis style in India. Right? You know? And then you will do that and you make sure it sits. And when you have children with you and you know they tug on this one and they hang on this one, but it works. All you need, if you have, look, you don't have to go for the branded measure. There's no name on this, but I'm just saying. You can use your belt and you put this underneath you anytime. It's not a problem. Right? And you hide the belt. And Allah don't tell, come and steal. Don't come and advertise now. Right? You hide yourself. Now, and be sensible. My one judge friend just reminded me, and I mentioned that he had a bad experience when he went on Hajj. They pickpocketed him. He's sitting here, you can check with him afterwards. He give you tips how, what to do. But the important thing to remember is be sensible, especially with that. I did speak about the slippers. The bone, this bone has to be open. And don't wear the slippers that's done of plastic. No, you find some of the plastic one because when the mataf is wet, anything is wet, you'll really slide. So you use the beach stones, the rubbery one. And those are good, sensible ones to use, inshallah. Are there any questions so far on that? Yes, giving that.
Just with regards to the Ihram,
Yeah.
I know that's a new one, limited edition one.
Yes.
How do you put on the Velcro?
Okay.
Is it stitched on or?
The Velcro is stitched, the Velcro is stuck.
Yeah, no, I'm just because there was saying something about you can't have any stitch.
The
stitching.
Remember, this thing is stitched. This bag is stitched. Anything related to keeping up your ihram, whether it's stitched, is not a problem. But the actual clothing is not a problem. And the Velcro is basically glued and stuck to this. You understand? And the ruling is anything that is there to keep up your ihram and what have you is not a problem. But it mustn't be stitched because you are putting it on your kafan. Right? So to a degree, this is a bit too fancy for me. If you look at it, this will create a bit of an ego problem. So get the old one. But I wanted to bring this new one. I really didn't find it. Thank you to my wife, she eventually found it. But stick to the normal one if you can. And look, you can go to the shops in Medina. You need to go to the shops in Medina, put it on, try it on. If you don't like it, swap to the conventional ones. Okay? Good. Any more other questions? Yes, question here.
On that point, Sheikh,
Yes.
what is the advice to get the ihram from here or to get it with the
I would say go buy it. You're going to buy it here in any case. And I think you're going to pay an arm and a leg here. Whereas in Medina, it's reasonably priced. It's an open market, it's reasonably priced. And at least you can always say, MashaAllah, I got my ihram and my kafan in Medina. Barakah Medina, made in Taiwan. But that is a reality. Even if you buy a tasbih, where is it made? Right? China. Right? Anything that is made there, there's no industry in Saudi. More questions? I think, unfortunately, it looks like we'll have to close the class tonight. But my wish and my dua that Allah gives you a fantastic Umrah, subhanAllah. That I have heard, obviously, Hazrat is going with. You are so fortunate, subhanAllah. Our Sheikh at the moment, Sheikh Muhammad Adil al-Naqshbandi, is performing Hajj at the moment. And how we wish and we're getting photos and pictures. And he is still in Ihram. He put himself in Ihram from the time he arrived. So this is to show you how our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam applied the law. If it applied to himself, he took the difficult one. If he gives it to the Ummah, he gives the rukhsa and the dispensation to the Ummah. I see Maulana Sheikh is doing the same thing. He applies a difficult one because he's probably performing the Qiran method. In other words, he's performing Umrah and Hajj in one niyyah. So he's come in to do both. Yes, question.
Imam Sahib, is it possible for Imam Sahib to just walk around the table as if it's the Kaaba and make what the walk was, where you would stop, point your hand, whatever you do with what the walk?
Right, I'm going to start right over there. Right? Yeah. Bismillah. I was going to say, I can give a few more also. When he walks, this is the Hajar al-Aswad. Right? So when we come here, former years there was a tile that used to go to demarcate that you don't go over that. And you'll see it's on my notes, because my notes is about 30 years old, if not longer, that I've been practiced over those years. So when you come, you are able to stand and say, Bismillah, Nawaitu Tawaf al-Umrah. Right? Oh Allah, I intend to perform a tawaf of Umrah 7 times. Right? To make it easy for me, Allah. All for your sake. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was on a camel and took his staff and he pointed to Hajar al-Aswad. That's how he did it. But the reality of it, for you to stand still and you think you're going to have a time to do that, it's not going to be practical because you're in the zahma, you're in the crowd. So please, when you come here already, for that, then you must make no way to tawaf al-umrah, Bismillah, Allah. You're going to keep moving because the crowd will push you. And once you move, you may say Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, then you make your dua. I say make your Subhanallah. But the first 3, as I said, Allah, 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 Allah. Any dua you want to do, right? The first 3, you run. And this is how you run, literally. Or on the spot type of thing. And here is now Rukun al-Yamani. Bismillah, ya Allahu Akbar. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Bismillah, ya Allahu Akbar. And you are rushing. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Because these people are pushing you. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. And again, رب اغفر وارحم وتجاوز عما تعلم إنك تعلم ما لا نعلم إنك أنت العز الأكرم. And you carry on. Whatever dua. My advice, more dhikr than dua. Because this is between you, your maker. The malaikas are making dua for you in any case. We spoke about that dimension, didn't we? The malaikas are making dua for you. You just say Ameen, Ameen, Ameen. Right? Allah, you know what is in my heart, what I want, what my needs are. And then you carry on. When you finish the 7th one, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Now you try to wangle. This is between the door and the Hajar al-Aswad. Oh Allah, now comes your dua. Oh Allah, this. And when you stand there, you don't even know what to say anymore. You are so overwhelmed by the whole situation. And that's what Allah wants from you. He wants your heart. Inna Allah la yanzuru ila suwarikum wa ajsamikum. Allah does not look at your suwar, your picture and how you are. وَلَكِنْ يَنْظُرُ إِلَىٰ قُلُوبِكُمْ. He looks at your heart. وَأَعْمَالِكُمْ and your works. And then you can. So when you come to the 4th one, it's a simple walk. Go with the flow. If the crowd is going slow, I know what some people do. And then they, I got a big P now, so I must now finish. If you've got a big P, go P. Right? Otherwise, how? It's like standing in Maghrib Salah, Ustad in front of us. What is that? Right? So important. Rather, look, yes, if you salisul bowl, we have spoken about that, those who got a urinary drip because of prostate and normal old age, that's a different thing. Can I just give that quickly, saying that we are there? If you are in that state, I think I've spoken about it, you go to the toilet, you make istinja, and you make your wudu, and then you perform your ibadat. And that ibadat, that wudu is only valid for one waqtu. Even if you haven't broken wind or anything like that, it becomes invalid for the next waqtu. Like some of our children, they made wudu at subuh time, they come to Maghrib, you still got wudu? Alleen wudu from subuh to Maghrib, Yes, a question on that side.
Sheikh, just to touch a bit on the dam.
Yeah.
Is it advisable that everybody just pays the dam? Is that how it works? That everybody just pays the dam anyway?
There's no dam.
Is there not?
In Umrah, there's no dam.
So,
good question, thank you for that. No dam. So you better watch this agent. He got you. No. It's only in Hajj time. When you do Hajj tamattu, like we do, we go for Hajj, we first perform our Umrah, we come out of Umrah, and you know what's the other thing? Then we must give a dam. Because now we're waiting for the days of Hajj, you see. But if you have to come back, no, which you are doing. If you go for Umrah only, no problem. There's no dam involved. Good. Now, I'm glad you asked that question because people, you know, are under the pressure. You know. More questions?
Sheikh, for the main, what is advisable once you completed your first Umrah, your first Umrah regarding the leave? Should you cut one because you have intention of
To perform double things, yeah. No, your first Umrah, is it your first Umrah? If you've never gone, do it correctly. Any Umrah that you do, even third, fourth, and fifth time, make it as if it is your first Umrah. So you do it, I explained to it in Jummah yesterday. Inna Allah kataba al-ihsan ala kulli shay. Allah has prescribed excellence in anything and everything that you do. So when you do something once, you do it excellently. You know? So, and when it's done, it's done. If your hair is all off, no problem. Because all they do is they take this a shaver. And the second time, you just go with the shaver over there. Not you, somebody must do it for you. And that, some people are naturally no hair. So they just take a shaver and go over it. That is to signify you out of the haram. More questions? No? Okay, I will go. Yes, there's a question. No problem. John?
More than a question. You know, everybody advises, and there's just something to share. They say that the Zamzam water, you get the cold one and the warm one.
Yeah.
But
Good question.
the cold one, they say they put dry ice. It's not advisable to drink because that's how you end up with a cold.
I would advise to drink everything warm. Don't even go, even with drinks and ice drinks and ice coke, whatever it is. You might think it's refreshing, but it will affect your throat. You know, it will affect, it does change the weather, anything what it is. So be careful on that. Don't drink anything icy, as alluring as it might look, you know. Our old people used to take everything warm. Yes?
If making wudu with Zamzam water,
Yes.
what is the permissible, I won't say permissibility, but some people feel that, you know, making wudu with the Zamzam water is going down the floor and so forth and so forth.
It's not a problem. It's not a problem.
It's your own preference.
Bibi Haidari, how did she make wudu when she had to make salah? It's water.
I'm just trying to get it.
No, I totally agree.
Because some people will see, oh, he's making Zamzam, wudu with Zamzam water, and what respect do you give the Zamzam water?
No. It's mashallah, it's water. There's been no restriction, but thank you for that question. There's no restriction of it's haram to make wudu or haram to make ghusl with that water. Good question. More? Again, I make dua that Allah keeps you healthy, protect you until Allah fulfills your heart desires of going to the haram. Inshallah, make dua for the ummah, make dua for yourself, for your family, for our murshid, our parents that have passed away, and Allah grant you all the good things, inshallah. Al-Fatiha. Before Fatiha, we make our salah. Allah, Allah, huzur ki baatein, marhaban wa nur ki baatein, jal unki balaye ta hai, aur nazare salam करते हैं कमली वाले का नाम लेकर बेसहारे सलाम करते हैं हाजियों मुस्तफा से कह देना गम के मारे सलाम करते हैं सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि मुहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु أهلا وسهلا مرحبا يا خير داعي سلام يا سلام عليكم سلام الله يا رسول الله على الذين منوروا الفاتحة بالسلام. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم أعطنا يا الله بخصوص هذه الجماعة إيمانا كاملا وأمانا دائما ورزقا واسعا وعقلا تاما وعلما نافعا وعملا صالحا وخلقا حسنا، وأعطنا عزة وصحة وراحة وفرحة وقوة لعبادتك، وأعطنا معرفتك يا الله بحرمة القرآن العظيم والنبي الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم أرسل العمال والحجاج إلى مكة المكرمة والمدينة المنورة والأماكن المطهرة سالمين غانمين منفرحين مستبشرين مع الصحة والسلامة يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم اجعل عمرتهم عمرة مقبولة، اللهم اجعل حجهم حجا مبرورا وسعيهم سعيا مشكورا وذنوبهم ذنوبا مغفورا وتجارة لهم تجارة لن تبور. يا نور النور يا عالم ما في الصدور أخرجنا وأخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور يا أرحم الراحمين. وصل اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. We make dua for Brother Mansoor's birthday. He passed away today. May Allah grant him Jannah. Also for Janab Hazrat Abdul Hasan, who passed away not so long ago. May Allah grant him all the goodness in our Rahman. I bless in all our parents that have passed away. Grant him Jannah for those who are not well. Allah give them shifa ya Rahman. إلى اللهم بلغ ثواب ما قرأنا ونور ما تلونا هدية واصلة إلى روح نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وإلى أرواح الأنبياء والأولياء وإلى أرواح شهداء الكربلاء وإلى أرواح البيت وإلى روح شيخ الإمداد ساكن في بغداد شيخ عبد القادر الجيلاني قدس الله سره العزيز وإلى روح إمام الهند شيخ معين الدين قدس الله سره العزيز وإلى روح إمام الراعي شيخ أحمد كبير الرفاعي قدس الله سره العزيز وإلى روح إمام الطريقة وغوث الخليفة شيخ بهاء الدين نقشبند محمد القويسي البخاري وإلى روح مولانا شيخ محمد ناظم علي الحقاني النقشبندي وإلى أرواح الأموات المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات والذاكرين والذاكرات وإلى أرواح خاصة. Mention your beloved ones by name audibly who have passed away. Sheikh Ali Walele Maryam Bala Walele Haji Usman Kaji Aisha Usman Ali Usman Kaji Haji Bala Usman Kaji Sayyid Abdul Qadir Naqshband Imam Ahmad Karzigar Imam Hassen Dawud Ismail Usman Kaji Abdul Samad Kaji Arabi Mawlana Sheikh Haji Mahmud Haqqani Sheikh Mustafa Yusuf ila rahmati Zubayda Wali Adam Muhammad Wali Adam Yunus Wali Adam ila rahmati Al-Hajj Hazrat Abdul Haq Muqaddam ila rahmati Mansur Ba'da ila اللهم لا تحرمنا أجورهم ولا تفتنا بعدهم واغفر لنا ولهم وارحمنا معهم. اللهم اغفر لهم وارحمهم وسكنهم في الجنة. اللهم اغفر لهم وارحمهم وادخلهم في الجنة. اللهم اغفر لهم وارحمهم الجنة يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم اشف مرضانا وارحم موتانا يا مولانا يا أرحم الراحمين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد